get your popcorn ready as we talk about ball. Angry Cowboys fan podcast, and it's on. Get your popcorn ready as we talk about ball. Angry Cowboys fan podcast, and it's on. And it's on. And it's on.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And Cowboys Nation, you are watching the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, the place to find my Raw and Uncut in podcast form. And Cowboys Nation, I want to talk to y'all about a few topics when it comes to our Dallas Cowboys. I'll be going camping from today until Monday, so I want to give y'all a little bit of content to rock to. I'll be throwing up some videos while I'm at camping. I won't have my backgrounds or anything like that. May not even have the intros to the videos either, but what I will have is this Raw and Uncut. In the next segment, I want to go over what Jerry Jones said during his interview in Oxnard after that joint practice with the Los Angeles Rams. Of course, the media caught up with Jerry Jones after the Dallas Cowboys joint practice with the Los Angeles Rams. It's not a day for the media without talking to Jerry Jones to get his take on the joint practice, as well as his take on Brian Schottenheimer and if the Dallas Cowboys could strike a deal with Micah Parsons anytime soon. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this Raw and Uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to what Jerry Jones had to say during the interview in Oxnard.
Anybody stand out for you from the Cowboys' point of view?
Well, I like 10 today very much, and of course Dak looked good too, but I thought 10 did some very good things out there.
Do you have any concern about him not finishing? It looked like he might have hit his thumb on a helmet.
Well, I've had a full report on that, and it doesn't look serious.
So he should be laid on for Saturday.
Again, I'm not going to get into the prognosis, but it does not look serious.
What are you seeing watching Brian Schottenheimer run the show out here?
I'm seeing in Brian a tremendously seasoned and experienced coach that's had years and years of two-a-day practices like we're experiencing here, have actually been a part of many, many teams. Yet this is his first time to ever step out here and be a head coach. I love the dynamic that goes on when you haven't done it, you want to prove it, yet we're getting to do it with a guy that spent 30 years getting ready to do this thing. I like the mix combination. That's why I made him the head coach.
That's why you made him the head coach, huh, Jerry? The interviewer asked what stuck out to Jerry Jones during the joint practice against the Rams. His first take was Joe Milton III. I feel the reason why Joe Milton stood out to him was due to that 65-yard bomb that he threw to Jalen Brooks. Nothing gets Jerry Jones going than a little bit of controversy. Now, with the co-signing, all of the people who don't believe in Dak Prescott's abilities can now start chanting that Joe Milton III is in the building to take Dak Prescott's job. Dak does need to stay healthy because if he goes down and Joe Milton comes in and balls out, history will repeat itself. But jumping into the second clip, Clarence Hill Jr. asked Jerry Jones about Micah Parsons and if it was good to see him out on the field looking at the team and taking notes even though he could request a trade. So we're going to take a listen to that so we can come back and talk about it. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Quickly on Micah, seeing him out here in this jersey, watching him practice even though he gave a trade demand, what's your thoughts on that? Is it good to see him out here still with the team?
Well, again, he kind of got literally, I did notice him, but there's 200 players out here, okay, and a lot of good ones. And so, that's really what you're dealing with. I want all of our fans to know that when you walk out here, in this case, there were 200 football players out here, so you're not just having someone just snap out at you in any way in terms of what you're paying attention to.
But just overall, though, just seeing him here, even though you made the man, just see him, he's still here. He hasn't left. Is that why you dismissed the trade demand? Like, okay, this is just negotiation?
Again, all of that's good. I think the world of Micah. Like I've said, I've had I've had social time with Micah, which isn't always the case. But I have. He's one of the brightest people I've ever been around, and he's very, very talented. Now, how we ultimately mail him in with our future is a challenge, and I'm built for it, and he's built for it.
Yeah, if you're built for it, please show us, Jerry, because we don't see it. But Jerry Jones is out there acting as if he's scouting 200 players during this joint practice. Jerry saw Micah Parsons here, and he knew what was going on with Micah. He knows that he could end all this crap, but it's more attention on the team. It's more headlines, Cowboys Nation. During a time where your new head coach needs all his players out there, during a time where the new defensive coordinator needs the person that this defense is built around out there, he's sitting on the sidelines in contract disputes. But in the final clip, a reporter asked if Jerry Jones was hopeful that something would happen with Micah Parsons' contract this year. So let's take a listen to what Jerry Jones had to say so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
Are you hopeful anything could change with this situation this week?
Again, this situation being
With Micah and the contract
with
moving
Micah. Listen, that's part of what we do. We have continual contract negotiations going on. I know you have Micah at front of mind, but we're continually working on contracts, and all clubs are. And so I don't necessarily put a big red letter beside any time that we've completed contract negotiations, but I'm appreciative when we do. So, but it's really business as usual.
Hey, Jerry Jones, we have Micah Parsons in the front of our minds because he's your best damn player on the defense. He may be the best player that you have on the team, and he continues to hang in limbo waiting for you to come to the table. Like Jerry Jones said, it's business as usual. The underlining issue with this Dallas Cowboys organization. But y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. This right here, Cowboys Nation, this is the issue that I have. This is par for the course with Jerry, Steven, and the Dallas Cowboys front office. Like Jerry Jones said, this is business as usual. But the thing is, has this type of business been good for business? Is the same old way of doing business gonna get us over the hump to a Super Bowl? The same old way of doing business hasn't gotten us anything the last 30 years, Cowboys Nation. But I tell you, I remember a couple of years back, most of Cowboys Nation wanted the players to stand up to Jerry Jones. They wanted Dak Prescott to stand up to Jerry Jones. They wanted CeeDee Lamb to stand up to Jerry Jones. Now that a player's standing up to Jerry Jones, said player should be quiet and collect his current contract while the top players in his draft class are getting their extensions early. You gotta make it make sense to me, Cowboys Nation. Which one do we want? Do we want the players to shut up and play, or do we want our players to be more vocal? We can't have it both ways, Cowboys Nation. But this, honestly, has to do with ego. This is all about ego. Jerry Jones's ego, Micah and David Mulugeta's ego. The fact that these contract talks have been a stalemate between the two sides is frankly out of this world, Cowboys Nation. The fact of how Jerry Jones told the media that he didn't even know who Micah Parsons' agent was, he didn't know who David Mulugeta was. It's as if Cowboys Nation and the media only know bits and pieces as to what's going on in this contract negotiation because nobody will really tell us anything. One side is painted as ungrateful while the other side does business as usual. Business from the past. Handshakes. I'm sorry, but we don't conduct contract negotiations with handshake deals, Jerry. You know that, and so does the player and the agent. This isn't the Great Depression. They're not going to be off bartering and trading like back in the days. You give me peas and I'll give you rice. These are contracts, and there are contracts for a reason. People know how typical contract negotiations go, and they involve the player and his agent. I actually listened to a segment from 105.3 The Fan where Bobby Belt actually had a phone conversation with David Mulugeta, and Mulugeta informed him that their sides tried reaching out to Jerry Jones twice, once during the 2024 NFL Combine, as well as this year, with nothing from Jerry and Steven Jones. No return phone calls, no nothing, and Micah Parsons is shopping himself around while Jerry Jones thinks they're bluffing, Cowboys Nation. boy, you better get off your hand and start calling their bluffs or getting the contracts done. But you know, Cowboys Nation, I tend to believe David Mulugeta and what he told Bobby Belt because Jerry has done this in the past. Jerry has done this over and over. This is the typical Jerry and Stephen Jones contract negotiations. Like I said before, business as usual, and it's not the proper way of conducting NFL business. I get that Micah Parsons was speaking too much when it came to his contract, telling people that he didn't see a difference between $30 and $40 million and shit like that. Now, people are expecting him to be a man of his word, but why don't we expect this from our front office? Why don't we expect Jerry and Stephen Jones to be men of their word? Why aren't Jerry and Stephen Jones held to that same standard, Cowboys Nation? Once again, the players have to be held accountable while the front office will lack accountability. Like I said before, it's like trying to build your mansion on sand. It's not the best place to place your foundation. But Cowboys Nation, this team needs to change, and it's not just change at the head coaching position or the quarterback position. It is serious change in the philosophy on the part of the owner/GM. They could change the quarterback, they could change the head coach and the offensive coordinator, but until they change their ways on negotiation as well as meddling in football operations, this team is not going to see any significant change. It will be the same old thing, and the league won't give you any sympathy Super Bowls because if they would have given Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills a sympathy Super Bowl. But to summarize, Cowboys Nation, we all know that business as usual isn't going to land the Dallas Cowboys a Super Bowl championship. The same old is going to net this ball club the same old while also making the Dallas Cowboys a ball club only rookies, desperate free agents, and players in their twilight years want to come to. Anyone of high quality will look at the Dallas Cowboys as a headache and a place of uncertainty. The players can't do anything to change that. That's all on your owner/GM, Jerry Jones. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. What do you feel about the ongoing contract disputes between Micah Parsons and the Jones family? Do you see that the contract is going to get done before the start of the regular season, or are we going to go into the regular season uncertain? Y'all know how we do. We always talk about it in the comments section. If you're digging this content and want to help the channel chip away at its current milestone of 20K, drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and want to join a bunch of people who love our Dallas Cowboys team, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 26 gameplay. Like I said earlier, Cowboys Nation, I'll be gone camping with my wife and grandkids this weekend, but I will do my best to bring y'all some live material coming from the campsite to discuss the first preseason game for our Dallas Cowboys. So make sure you're subbed up to the channel and you got that bell click so you don't miss the notification. I appreciate each and every one of you here. I appreciate y'all rocking with the channel, but most importantly, I appreciate you being DC for life. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Have a great weekend, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan Podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.